What's going on, guys? Today is the last trading day of this year, and we are experiencing a decent drawdown on a lot of the Bitcoin miners. Cleanspark as well as some others are down pretty massively today. And of course, you have Sphere 3D up 6% pre-market and up somewhere around 1% as of this upload. I would have really loved a more considerable pullback for it, but maybe we'll see some good buying opportunities next week in terms of Sphere 3D. Now in this video, I want to focus on a Bitcoin miner that I really like. I believe I've briefly mentioned this one a few times here and there, but we're going to take a look at it. I do have a couple things I want to show you. And this is a Bitcoin miner called Btbt or Btbt. And they announced only a few days ago that they're targeting doubling its operating fleet and its Bitcoin mining operations to approximately 6 exahash during 2024. Now I know you're probably thinking there's a lot of miners out there that mine considerably more at a much higher exahash. And those other miners you're thinking of are up in the billions already. Btdigital is only a $383 million market cap company, and it just so happens we're experiencing a nice 18% drawdown today. And I'll look at the chart in a second and show you guys a couple of very interesting things here, but we have more recent news to look over. Btdigital also announced just about a week and a half ago that they received their initial batch of servers that are equipped with NVIDIA HGX H1000 graphics cards from Super Microcomputer, and the company's received 89 servers which will be shipped and delivered to their data center in Iceland, and they expect to receive the remaining 103 servers by the first week of January. And also Btdigital has amended their agreement so that the company has now received a 3-month prepayment from its customer. And we also get some more information on this in their last mining update. But first off, let's look at their Bitcoin mining side of things, and then we'll look at that AI information. So in November 2023, Btdigital produced 142 Bitcoin, which is a 24% increase compared to the prior month. They have a current active hash rate of 2.25 exahash. And here's one thing I really like about Btdigital. They also hold Ethereum, and their treasury holdings of Bitcoin and Ethereum were 551 Bitcoin and 16,000 Ethereum, with a fair market value of approximately 20 million for the Bitcoin and 33 million for the Ethereum. And the company also has cash equivalents of nearly $15 million. And the cool thing about their Ethereum is they do stake their Ethereum. They had approximately 12,784 actively staked, and Btdigital earned a blended APY of approximately 4.5%, and they've received staking rewards of approximately 44.93 Ethereum during November. So they're going to continue to stake their Ethereum, they're going to continue to build out their Ethereum, which leads to more staking rewards, and it's like a snowball effect. And here's another touch of news on their AI update. And it says that Btdigital received a prepayment for the first month from its customer, but keep in mind they've already been prepaid for the first 3 months, as we just saw in that AI update. And the company expects to earn between 35 million and 37 million of revenue from this contract alone during 2024. I think Btdigital is definitely one to keep on the radar, keep on your watch list. I do like that they stake Ethereum, and this is the only Bitcoin miner I know of that currently does that. But let me know what you guys think about Btdigital. We're also going to look at the chart, and I'm going to show you Cleanspark as well. We are pulling back a bit. Now, first off, looking at Btbt, Btdigital, we saw a pretty big drawdown today, and we did fill our gap here, right in the 4s. Now, one thing I'm watching for is if we do pull back, I'm watching the 350, 360 level. This was a previous breakout area right here and right here. It was a rejection and then a breakout on our last run here. And it was also a tipping point once we didn't hold support. So I'm watching how 360, 350 area holds up. Another thing you'll notice here is we did just flash a golden cross. That indicates more long-term bullishness. The beginning of the bull market is here in my opinion. But of course in the short term we could draw down a bit more. In my eyes, that would be a great buying opportunity for Btbt. Now, one good thing, just like a lot of the other miners, is we are expecting continued revenue growth. They're expecting one of the best quarters they've seen in recent history. However, they have seen a better quarter back in the last bull market. So that's kind of interesting that you have some companies like Cleanspark hitting record all-time revenue, and Bitfarms still has to climb out of its previous revenue peak back in 2021. One thing we've been experiencing across the board, just like with Btdigital, is an increase in volume. And of course, Bitcoin can sway where this goes, but I do expect Btdigital is going to find support pretty soon here and start blasting back higher and break its previous resistance. And I do expect this to happen before the halving. Now, I did want to quickly mention Cleanspark. We are breaking our trend. This green ascending support, it does look like we're breaking down from it. And I do think there's still a possibility for that 7 area gap fill. And while it does seem unlikely that we're going to lose another 30% of our gains, we do have to be open to that possibility. And if we did go down to fill that gap, that would also place us right around our 50 MA, which would be a great bouncing off point. But it's nice to see Cleanspark now out of the overbought region. Most of us were anticipating a little cool down We know that the miners were flying high. We know that the miners were pretty deeply overbought, and a healthy correction is perfectly fine. Now, one thing with Cleanspark is they are expecting all-time record-breaking revenue, and their aggressive growth during the bear market has definitely played in their favor. But they're expecting a $66 million quarter, and this quarter is going to be covering the months October, November, and December. And with Bitcoin, we saw a huge increase in price overall. And it was late November when they gave us this expectation on this upcoming quarter, and Bitcoin was definitely lower in price at that point. And I do expect Bitcoin's price appreciation since the last earnings could give us a beat on revenue, just because Bitcoin has gone up since they last gave this outlook. And when they gave their last earnings report and the forward projection for this earnings, Bitcoin was right around the 37 area. Right after November, we saw that huge breakout in the beginning of December. I do think that's going to contribute to a beat in revenue for Cleanspark. And who knows, maybe next quarter they're expecting somewhere around a $70-80 million quarter. And I do still say there's a possibility to see a profit before the halving. We do have this upcoming earnings and one final earnings. However, earnings after next is going to be reported after the halving already happens. So it's going to be a very interesting timeline based on where halvings are and where earnings is. But I do expect January, February, March, as long as Bitcoin appreciates in price more, it's very possible we see a profit for Cleanspark. They did have a recent quarter where they took a $12 million loss. They're really not all that far from profitability. And we all know that the halving is going to bring a cut in rewards for the miners. But overall, throughout 2024 and 2025, Bitcoin's price will appreciate and more than make up for it. The big picture here is that yes, while the miners will be taking less rewards the day after halving compared to the day before halving, overall Bitcoin's price will more than make up for it. But I do expect some potential negativity revolving around the halving for the Bitcoin miners. It could be one of the last great buying opportunities as we push through 2024. But let me know what you guys think. How is the halving going to play out for the Bitcoin miners? Are we going to see a drop in anticipation of rewards being cut? And is that going to be one of our last great buying opportunities? And also, what do you think about Bit Digital? And what miners are you picking up today? Today's definitely a great day to take advantage of these 15-17% down days. And let me know what you're buying out there. Thanks as always, guys, and have a good weekend.